Tonight, Barack Obama takes on Sarah Palin.
Mother, governor, moose shooter.
And what about the claim she keeps making about the bridge to nowhere?
I told Congress, thanks, but no thanks.
We'll have a reality check. I'm Katie Couric. Also tonight, John McCain, Barack Obama, and your taxes. Will you pay more or less? We'll tell you as we begin a new series on the candidates and the issues called Where They Stand. Teenagers won't like this one, a new push to raise the minimum age for driving. And seven-time Tour de France winner Lance Armstrong makes a surprise decision.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening, everyone. Well, John McCain appears to have the momentum in the presidential race. A CBS News poll out tonight shows more uncommitted voters moving his way than toward Barack Obama. 20% of voters who told us before the conventions they were undecided or could still change their minds now say they're for Senator McCain. 14% have moved to Senator Obama. And among those shifting to McCain, his running mate was a big factor. 81% say the vice presidential nominee will influence their vote. Only 38% said so before he chose Sarah Palin. Tonight, Dean Reynolds reports the Palin factor has the Obama campaign making some adjustments.
Faced with a slide in the polls and a revitalized opposition, Barack Obama today acknowledged the obvious. Sarah Palin has shaken up this race.
Governor Palin attracted a lot of attention this week. She's been on the minds of all of you, and as a consequence, has been before the American people constantly for the last week.
For days, Obama's campaign has tried to deal with what is seen as the Palin puzzle, with the candidate first paying her compliments, but lately mixing some sarcasm into his message.
Mother, governor, moose shooter, I mean, it's cool. But you notice they didn't talk about the issues.
Obama has been concentrating on issues, including the economy, energy, and education, while claiming the Republicans are running on empty.
After 3 decades of indifference on education, do you really believe that John McCain is going to suddenly make a difference now?
Obama spoke out on another issue today, the Iraq War. Specifically, the decision to redeploy 8,000 U.S. troops from there, with some going to Afghanistan, and why he found that to be inadequate.
In the absence of a timetable to remove our combat brigades, we will continue to give Iraq's leaders a blank check instead of pressing them to reconcile their differences.
But for the Obama campaign, it is Palin's popularity that has become a serious concern, even as their candidate attempts to downplay it.
This has been a good story to write about, and there's always something new. And my general approach throughout this process has been not to worry about today's news or yesterday's polls.
And late tonight, the McCain camp released an ad accusing Obama of sponsoring legislation in Illinois that would have taught sex education, comprehensive sex education, to kindergartners. The Obama campaign fired back that the legislation in question was written to protect young children from sexual predators. And they called the McCain ad shameful and downright perverse. Katie?
Dean Reynolds in Lebanon, Virginia. Thank you so much. And Dean, there's also controversy over the way Governor Palin is trying to attract voters by portraying herself as a reformer opposed to government earmarks. And the example she continues to cite is her opposition to the infamous bridge to nowhere. But she doesn't quite tell the entire story. So tonight, Wyatt Andrews fills you in on what the governor leaves out in this reality check.
It's one of those claims that gets so much applause.
I told Congress, thanks, but no thanks for that bridge to nowhere.
Governor Sarah Palin just won't let it go.
I told Congress, thanks, but no thanks for that bridge to nowhere up in Alaska.
But the truth is the governor never rebuffed Congress. Here are the facts. After a year of supporting the proposed bridge near Ketchikan, Governor Palin pulled state funds from the project, which killed the bridge for good. But she never said no thanks to the federal funds promised by Congress, $233 million. In fact, here's the list of how Palin is spending those federal tax dollars on other highway projects around Alaska. As a candidate for governor, she defended every dollar for roads and bridges the state could wrangle from Washington.
I'm not going to stand in the way of progress, that our congressional delegation, in the position of strength that they have right now, they're making those efforts for the state of Alaska.
Now, however, Palin is on a Republican ticket that's promising to reform all earmark spending, all of those federal grants aimed at specific local projects, and McCain's credibility here is excellent.
I have never asked for nor received a single earmark pork barrel project from my state of Arizona.
Governor Palin's record on earmarks is mixed. Compared to the previous governor, her earmarks are down 44%, but she still requested more than $450 million over 2 years. By repeating the claim she said no thanks to the bridge, the implication is that Governor Palin confronted a Congress recklessly wasting money. The record shows she wanted that bridge until the end and kept the money. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
We want to go back now to our new CBS News poll to show you some potentially good news for Senator Obama. Among uncommitted voters, nearly twice as many say they can relate to Senator Obama as say they can relate to Senator McCain. It is those uncommitteds in battleground states who will decide this election. And as Kelly Wallace reports, most of them are women.
There's no better example of the seesaw of the undecided voter than 58-year-old Linda Brode, a registered Republican in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, a small working-class town in a battleground state.
I have no clue who to vote for. It's you know, and I'm usually made up my mind by now.
A divorced mother of one, she voted for Bill Clinton and George Bush.
The stakes are
2 weeks ago, she was impressed with Barack Obama's speech. But then she heard Sarah Palin, and now won't make up her mind until all the candidates face off.
These debates are very important to people, and I know I'm not alone in thinking this way.
According to our latest poll, 55% of uncommitted voters are women like Linda. But of those who have made up their minds since the conventions, 28% volunteered Sarah Palin as the reason for their decision, more than any other factor. Terry Klingeman is a registered Republican who was undecided.
She sealed the deal with her speech. She really did.
Even Philip Coles, a registered Democrat who's undecided, says he relates more to Governor Palin than Senators Obama and Biden.
I guess because of the way she was brought up and her family values as well.
Traditionally, it's the top of the ticket that sways undecided voters. The emergence of Sarah Palin is challenging that assumption for now. Kelly Wallace, CBS News, Tamaqua, Pennsylvania.
Now to Hurricane Ike. Late this afternoon, the storm, for now a weakened Category 1, moved into the Gulf of Mexico. It may be headed toward Texas after pummeling Cuba. Trees and light poles were blown down, and there was heavy flooding there. But early reports say only 4 people were killed as more than 1 million were evacuated ahead of the storm. David Bernard of CBS 4 in Miami is our hurricane analyst. David, where is Ike right now, and where's the storm headed?
Katie, the storm is really doing a number on Cuba. It's currently located 90 miles west-southwest of Havana, moving west-northwest at 10. And here's the deal. It's going to move off the Cuban coastline tonight, and then it's expected to intensify. And the latest forecast is still calling for this to be a major hurricane approaching the Texas coastline by late Friday and into early Saturday morning. Could be as strong as a Category 3, and it's certainly possible it might be a little bit stronger than that.
Now, if Ike hits Texas, David, that would make 4 hurricanes and 3 tropical storms in the U.S. this year. Why are so many happening? Is something unique going on?
Well, there's a couple of things going on, Katie. First of all, it's not unusually active as far as the number of storms. What is unusual is how many of these storms are hitting land. This would make the 7th storm to hit the United States coastline this year, and a couple of reasons for it. They're forming closer to the United States, and we have a big blocking high in the Atlantic that's preventing the storms from turning out to sea before they can affect the United States coast.
All right, David Bernard of CBS 4 in Miami tracking Ike for us tonight. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Overseas tonight, there are serious questions about the health of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il. Some Western intelligence experts believe he suffered a serious stroke. Kim, who is 66, was a no-show today at a military parade celebrating the country's 60th anniversary. Now, it's not clear who's in charge right now or what impact this might have on North Korea's nuclear program. Still ahead on the CBS Evening News tonight, get a pencil and paper. We'll compare the Obama and McCain tax plans and what they will mean to you in a new series we're beginning called Where They Stand. It may seem as if it's gone on forever, but the end of Campaign 08 is finally in sight. Voters will go to the polls just 8 weeks from today to decide whether John McCain or Barack Obama will be our next president. To help you make an informed decision, we'll be devoting a large part of our broadcast between now and November 4th to telling you where the candidates stand on major issues, from terrorism to health insurance, immigration to energy, and a lot more. First, personal income taxes and how the Obama and McCain policies would affect you. Our business correspondent Anthony Mason tells you where they stand.
3 Ohio families, 3 income levels, 3 tax bills.
We're Charles and Joy Beecham. We're from Pataskala, Ohio.
The Beechams have 3 kids, 2 living with Charles' ex-wife. They just bought a foreclosed home. Charles runs his own office supply delivery business. Joy has a new job as a teacher. The Beechams earned nearly $32,000 last year.
I'm Kendra Foose, and this is my husband, Andy.
We live in Miamisburg, Ohio.
The Fooses have 3 children, too. Andy is a construction manager. Kendra runs her own custom candy wrapper business from home. They made nearly $64,000 last year.
We're the Wilsons. My name's Gilbert. This is my wife, Lisa.
And we live in Plain City, Ohio.
The Wilsons also have 3 kids. Lisa's a stay-at-home mom. Gilbert owns a computer network company. Their income, $213,000 on their last 1040.
We came to Ohio to talk taxes because it's a critical swing state in this election. The economy is the #1 issue here, and the race is a virtual dead heat.
What's your sense of the state of the economy right now?
Oh.
It's rough.
At every income level,
I'm nervous. I'm seeing things change that I thought wouldn't.
These families are feeling the pinch.
Everything has gone up this year.
To the Foose family, being middle class means being caught in the middle.
There seems to be breaks for those with very low incomes, lots of breaks for those for very high income, and we are the ones that are constantly struggling.
We don't fit into any loophole.
We do not fit into a loophole.
In terms of taxes, what do you want from the next president?
Relief.
So where do the candidates stand?
I don't want to send any more of your earnings to the government, my friends.
We will provide real tax relief to the middle class by cutting taxes for 150 million Americans.
McCain and Obama differ sharply, starting with the Bush tax cuts due to expire in 2010. McCain would make them permanent. Obama would eliminate them for families making more than $250,000. The cornerstone of Obama's tax plan is what he calls the Making Work Pay credit. It would give any worker making under $150,000 a credit of $500, up to $1,000 per family. That credit would be refundable, which means even if you owe no taxes, you could still get a check from the government. Obama would also create a similar college tax credit for the first $4,000 of tuition. In return, a student would have to perform 100 hours of public service.
We'll invest in you, you invest in America. Together we'll march the country forward.
He'd also give low-income families a 50% credit on up to $6,000 in child care expenses. He'd eliminate income taxes for seniors making less than $50,000 and impose a 2% Social Security tax on those making more than $250,000.
That way we can extend the promise of Social Security without shifting the burden on seniors.
The centerpiece of the McCain plan is a tax break for families.
I'll double the child deduction from $3,500 to $7,000 for every dependent in every family in America.
On investment income, McCain would keep the tax rate at 15%. Obama would raise it to 20% for those earning more than $250,000. Obama would also raise the top tax rate from 35% to almost 40%. The second highest bracket would jump to from 33% to 36%. McCain would leave these rates unchanged. Finally, both candidates would raise the income trigger for the alternative minimum tax, a tax targeted at the rich, but now trapping more and more middle-class families. So, what could these plans mean for our 3 Ohio families? Columbus accountant Matt Yeskowicz ran the numbers for us.
They are all touched by the plans in some respect.
The Beechams, who, remember, made $32,000 last year, would see no change in their taxes under McCain. But the Obama plan would help them.
The Beechams will be the beneficiary of a number of these refundable credits.
The Beechams, who paid no taxes in 2007, would now receive a check from the government for more than $2,200.
What do you think of that number?
That would work.
That would be really nice.
The Wilsons are at the other end of the spectrum, earning $213,000, which includes the profits from Gilbert's business. That puts them in the 28% bracket. If Gilbert's business improves, his income could easily push him into the 33% bracket, which under Obama's plan would jump to 36%.
That would be painful. Another 8% of the income.
And thousands of dollars more in taxes. Finally, there's the Fooses. McCain's dependent exemption would cut the Fooses' taxes by $225. Obama's Making Work Pay credit would cut their tax bill by $500.
Does that feel like enough to you?
Doesn't seem like much.
It's not enough to make a real big difference, no.
The Fooses, who are both undecided, feel forgotten again.
We're on our own. That's how I feel, is that there isn't anybody there that's rooting for us, you know, that they're the ones in the middle that can take care of themselves.
And it's middle-class taxpayers like Andy and Kendra Foose who are expected to decide this election. I'm Anthony Mason, CBS News, Miamisburg, Ohio.
And this series continues on Thursday with the biggest foreign policy issue either Barack Obama or John McCain will face. We'll tell you where they stand on withdrawing U.S. troops from Iraq. Coming up next, thousands of teens die every year in car accidents. Now there's a controversial proposal to get those numbers down by getting the driving age up. Today, a new study from the insurance industry says raising the minimum driving age would save lives. Cynthia Bowers has the story.
When 5 upstate New York high school cheerleaders died in this head-on collision last year, it made national headlines. But the fact is, every 90 minutes, another American teen dies in a car crash, nearly 5,000 a year. A heartbreaking number that could be reduced, according to the new study, by raising another number, the driving age, from 16 to 17 or even 18.
You can reduce the number of fatalities among young drivers by increasing the licensing age.
Currently, the age at which kids can get behind the wheel varies a lot. In South Dakota, it's 14 and a half. It's 15 in a few other states. Most still require kids to be at least 16. But when New Jersey became the first and only one to change the age to 17, deaths dropped dramatically, down 30% from nearby Connecticut, where the age is 16.
But the real lifesaver may be graduated driver's license programs. 45 states have them. Illinois is one of the toughest.
As soon as you're ready, lane change in.
Illinois now requires 100 hours of supervised driving and only 1 passenger for the newest drivers.
You've seen a 47% drop in fatal crashes.
While even talk of a delay amounts to torture to teens like Christine Romensky.
I don't know if I would survive. I mean, it would be really hard to wait.
But waiting just may be the safest way to go. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Chicago.
And that is the CBS Evening News. I'm Katie Couric, back in New York. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.